The Master Mason Blue Lodge ring represents the highest degree of symbolic masonry, known as the third degree. Its main symbol is the square and compasses, which expresses the central moral framework of Freemasonry. The square represents the requirement to act with honesty, fairness, and moral precision, while the compasses signify personal restraint and the ability to set boundaries within ethical conduct. Many rings include the letter G at the center. In Masonic teaching, this letter traditionally refers to geometry, which is considered the foundation of architecture and symbolic order, and God, emphasizing the belief that all moral work is performed under a higher guiding principle. The ring's band sometimes incorporates the all-seeing eye, representing vigilance over one's thoughts and actions. Some rings are made of gold to indicate the wearer's completed progression through the entered apprentice and fellow craft degrees. Others include blue enamel, referencing the Blue Lodge, the foundational body of Freemasonry. The ring is worn to signify that the member has achieved full initiation and now has access to the core teachings, obligations, and traditional working tools of the craft. It communicates completion, commitment, and lifelong responsibility to Masonic instruction. The Scottish Rite double-headed eagle ring identifies a Mason who has advanced beyond the foundational Blue Lodge degrees into the Scottish Rite system. Its main emblem, the double-headed eagle, originates from medieval heraldry and symbolizes dual vision, one head facing the past and the other directed toward the future. This design reflects the Rite's emphasis on philosophical study, moral analysis, and understanding the influence of history on modern conduct. The eagle is often depicted with a sword or scepter, indicating authority, vigilance, and commitment to defending moral principles. Many versions display the number 32, representing completion of the 32nd degree, which focuses on developing mastery over personal judgment and broader understanding of ethical governance. Rings belonging to a 32nd degree Mason usually contain black enamel, signifying the introspective nature of the degree system. The eagle's wings may be displayed upward or downward depending on jurisdictional tradition. Some versions feature a crown above the eagle, representing sovereignty over personal passions and intellectual discipline. The ring is worn to demonstrate that the Mason has undertaken additional instruction involving symbolism drawn from history, philosophy, and comparative religion. It represents extended commitment to self-improvement beyond the Blue Lodge curriculum. The York Rite Triple Tau ring identifies a Royal Arch Mason, a member who has completed the higher degrees of the York Rite system. Its primary emblem, the Triple Tau, consists of three interlocked T-shaped symbols placed at equal angles to form a central geometric design. In Royal Arch teachings, this emblem references hidden knowledge, the search for lost truth, and the restoration of symbolic light. The Triple Tau is traditionally enclosed within a triangle and a circle. The triangle signifies divine order and the relationship between moral principles, while the circle symbolizes completeness and eternity. Together, they indicate that the Royal Archmason has pursued advanced understanding of the allegorical rebuilding of moral and spiritual foundations. The letters surrounding the emblem vary by jurisdiction, but many include abbreviations referring to phrases such as "Holiness to the Lord," which is tied to the restored knowledge central to the Royal Arch degree. The ring is often made with red enamel because red is the identifying color of Royal Arch Masonry. Wearing this ring indicates that the Mason has moved beyond the fellowship teachings of the Blue Lodge and has reached the point where deeper allegories about lost knowledge and restoration are examined. The Shriners Crescent and Scimitar ring identifies a Mason who is part of the Shriners International Fraternity, a branch known for its philanthropic work, especially children's hospitals. The main emblem is a scimitar, a curved Middle Eastern-style sword. This represents protection of the organization's principles and the discipline required to serve others. The scimitar suspends a crescent, often shaped with two claws or curved points on either side. These points represent the two pillars of a Shriner's obligation, maintaining integrity and offering charitable service. Inside the crescent is a small five-pointed star, symbolizing guidance, direction, and a commitment to helping those in need. Some rings include a sphinx head above the emblem, referencing ancient cultures and emphasizing the fraternity's use of historical symbolism. Many versions incorporate red enamel, as red is traditionally associated with the Shriners. The ring signals that the wearer has already completed the foundational Masonic degrees before joining the shrine, as membership requires full Master Mason status. It demonstrates involvement in charitable work and participation in an organization focused on philanthropy, fellowship, and public service. The symbols function as reminders of responsibility toward both the fraternity and the broader community. The past Master ring represents a Mason who has previously served as worshipful master of a Blue Lodge. The central emblem, is a modified form of the square and compasses. Instead of the usual configuration, a quadrant or arc is placed behind the square, signifying the increased responsibility and broader authority once held by the wearer. This arc often represents the sun's path, illustrating that the past master has completed a full cycle of leadership. The square still represents moral conduct, and the compasses continue to symbolize proper boundaries and ethical decision-making. But in this context, they signify the advanced judgment required to govern a lodge. Some rings include the gavel, which symbolizes the authority to preside over meetings and maintain order. Others incorporate the letter G, signifying the same moral foundation present in all Blue Lodge symbolism. The design acknowledges that the wearer has fulfilled the administrative, ceremonial, and instructional responsibilities required during a term as master. It communicates experience, leadership history, and familiarity with both the ritual and organizational functioning of the lodge. The ring is worn by those who have already completed their term and no longer hold the office but retain the title and associated knowledge. The Royal Archmason ring signifies membership in the Royal Arch Chapter, the first major body of the York Rite after the Blue Lodge. Its principal emblem is the triple tau, though sometimes it appears surrounded by additional symbols depending on jurisdiction. In Royal Arch teachings, the triple tau represents the search for lost knowledge, a central theme of this degree, which focuses on rediscovering a symbolic word and reconstructing moral foundations. The ring may incorporate a triangle around the triple tau, reinforcing ideas of sacred geometry and divine order. Many versions include red enamel, as red represents the Royal Arch's role in continuing the teachings of the third degree. Letters such as HTWSSTKS may appear, abbreviating a phrase associated with the core lessons of the degree. The ring indicates that the wearer has participated in rituals emphasizing restoration, rebuilding, and examination of hidden truths. It shows progression beyond the Blue Lodge and signals an understanding of advanced symbolic narratives involving ancient temple structures, moral reconstruction, and rediscovery of essential teachings. The Royal Archmason ring marks completion of a key stage in the York Rite and identifies someone who has pursued deeper allegorical study. The Knights Templar ring represents membership in the Templar branch of the York Rite, a Christian-oriented order within Freemasonry. The primary emblem is the cross and crown. The crown symbolizes victory and spiritual authority, while the cross represents self-discipline and adherence to ethical principles rooted in Christian moral frameworks. The emblem is often accompanied by the motto in hoc signo vinces, Latin for "in this sign, you will conquer." This motto references the belief that moral victory is achieved through disciplined conduct aligned with spiritual principles. Many rings incorporate a Maltese cross or a red passion cross, emphasizing the Templars' connection to medieval chivalric orders. White or red enamel is commonly used, representing purity and sacrifice. Unlike other Masonic bodies, the Knights Templar require a profession of Christian faith for membership. Therefore, the ring signifies not only advanced study within the York Rite, but also alignment with the specific religious foundation of the Templar degrees. The design communicates commitment to service, duty, and ethical conduct modeled after historical codes of knighthood. Wearing this ring identifies the individual as a participant in the highest chivalric order within the York Rite. The 33rd degree Scottish Rite ring is one of the highest and most distinguished symbols in Freemasonry. Its main emblem is a double-headed eagle wearing a crown, signifying supreme insight, authority, and achievement. Unlike the 32nd degree ring, this eagle is crowned to differentiate it as the emblem of the Sovereign Grand Inspector General, the honorary degree conferred for exceptional service to the fraternity. The number 33 is typically engraved prominently, either above or beneath the eagle, representing the degree. Many versions feature a white diamond or white enamel background, symbolizing purity of motive. The 33rd degree is not earned through standard progression, but awarded by the Supreme Council, making the ring an indicator of extraordinary dedication, leadership, or contribution. The band may include inscriptions such as Deus meum que jus, meaning God and my right, reflecting the philosophical and ethical responsibilities linked to the degree. The design emphasizes mastery over personal conduct, intellectual discipline, and service to the fraternity. The ring marks one of the rarest distinctions in Freemasonry and serves as a visible sign that the wearer has been formally recognized at the highest honorary level within the Scottish Rite. The Eastern Star ring represents membership in the Order of the Eastern Star, an affiliated Masonic organization open to both men and women. Its principal emblem is the five-pointed star, with each point assigned a distinct color and symbolic meaning. The top point is white, representing purity and linked to the biblical figure Ada. The blue point signifies loyalty, associated with Ruth. The yellow point reflects constancy and is tied to Esther. The green point symbolizes hope and is connected to Martha. The red point stands for sacrifice and relates to Electa. Together, these points form a structure that teaches lessons about moral conduct through allegorical narratives. The center of the star usually contains the letters OES, or additional symbols such as the pentagon or small Bible. Many rings include colored enamel to preserve the star's five-part symbolism. The ring is worn to indicate that the individual is part of a service-oriented organization that emphasizes charity, community involvement, and moral instruction using allegories traditionally associated with specific virtues. It represents affiliation with a body closely linked to Freemasonry, but distinct in membership structure and purpose. The Prince Hall Mason ring identifies a member of Prince Hall Freemasonry, a Masonic tradition founded in the late 18th century by Prince Hall, an African-American abolitionist and civic leader. The primary emblem on the ring is typically the square and compasses, identical to mainstream Masonry, but often accompanied by inscriptions or design elements specific to Prince Hall jurisdictions. These may include the words Prince Hall, PHA, or the date 1775, referencing the founding year of the movement. The symbolism of the square and compasses remains the same. The square indicates moral rectitude and honesty, while the compasses reflect the need for personal restraint and adherence to ethical boundaries. Some rings include additional elements linked to historical struggles for civil rights and community leadership. The ring demonstrates membership in a Masonic tradition that historically provided structure, support, and education to African American communities during periods of exclusion from mainstream lodges. Wearing this ring signifies participation in a lineage that values moral improvement, community service, and continuation of the legacy established by Prince Hall. The design is both a symbol of Masonic principles and an acknowledgement of a unique historical tradition. The Worshipful Master ring identifies a Mason who is currently serving or has served as the highest-ranking officer of a Blue Lodge. Its central symbol is usually the square and compasses with the letter G, but the configuration is sometimes altered to emphasize authority. The ring may include a gavel, symbolizing the Master's power to maintain order, open and close the lodge, and conduct ritual work. Some versions incorporate a sunburst or radiating lines behind the emblem, representing enlightenment, leadership, and the responsibility to guide the lodge. The ring is often more elaborate than typical membership rings, sometimes made of gold or decorated with enamel to reflect the significance of the office. The Worshipful Master is responsible for ritual accuracy, administrative oversight, and ensuring that the lodge functions according to Masonic law. Therefore, the ring serves as a visible sign of governance and leadership experience. It conveys that the wearer has earned the trust of fellow members and has carried out duties that require precision, discipline, and comprehensive understanding of both symbolic and operational aspects of Freemasonry. The ring is typically retained permanently after the term ends, signifying continued respect for the position. The Masonic Skull and Bones ring is not tied to a specific degree, but represents a symbol used within certain Masonic contexts, particularly in the higher degrees and in ritual themes concerning mortality. The emblem features a human skull above crossed bones. Within Masonic teaching, this image is not meant to be macabre. Instead, it serves as a reminder of life's brevity and the necessity of prioritizing moral conduct. It reinforces the lesson that actions carry long-term consequences and that personal character must be developed while time permits. Some rings display the skull atop a coffin or surrounded by laurels, adding symbolic layers about transformation and wisdom gained from contemplating mortality. The skull and bone symbol appears in several Masonic rituals that teach reflection, humility, and the requirement to evaluate one's behavior. The ring is worn by members who appreciate these lessons and wish to carry a constant reminder of mortality's moral purpose. It is not exclusive to any specific rite, but is recognized throughout various Masonic bodies. The design communicates introspection, discipline, and awareness of the deeper philosophical messages embedded within Masonic tradition. The Mark Master Mason ring signifies completion of the Mark Master degree, one of the foundational degrees in the York Rite. The main emblem is the Keystone, a wedge-shaped stone used structurally to lock an arch into place. In Masonic teaching, the Keystone represents the value of individual labor and the importance of precision in performing one's duties. The symbol often contains the letters HTWWSTKS, which abbreviate a phrase used within the degree to reference the careful and skillful work of a master mason. The keystone may also include additional markings replicating ancient stoneworker signatures, emphasizing craftsmanship and responsibility. The ring is commonly produced with orange or red enamel, reflecting the degree's traditional color. The Mark Master degree teaches that each individual's contribution affects the integrity of the whole structure, symbolized through the allegory of constructing a sacred building. Wearing the ring indicates that the mason has studied principles of diligence, accountability, and accurate workmanship. The design communicates commitment to quality and understanding the deeper meaning of labor within Masonic symbolism. The Knight of the Red Cross ring signifies membership in an advanced order of the York Rite, specifically within the commandery system, preceding full entry into the Knights Templar. Its primary emblem is usually a red cross, which symbolizes duty, bravery, and adherence to truth. Some rings incorporate a sword crossing behind the cross, representing the readiness to defend moral principles. The degree focuses on lessons involving integrity, courage, and loyalty to promises, taught through an allegory centered on restoring a sacred structure and confronting deception. The ring may also include the letters KRC, indicating the title Knight of the Red Cross. Green enamel is sometimes used, as green is traditionally linked to this degree. The ring indicates that the wearer has advanced through key preparatory stages leading toward Templar membership, and has encountered teachings emphasizing justice and unwavering commitment to ethical conduct. It represents an intermediate step between symbolic masonry and the chivalric degrees. The design showcases the values of truthfulness and disciplined behavior, central to the lessons of the order. The Cryptic Mason ring identifies a member of the Royal and Select Masters, a body within the York Rite commonly known as the Cryptic Council. Its primary symbols include the broken triangle, the trowel, or the triple interlaced triangle, depending on jurisdiction. These symbols represent secrecy, preservation of knowledge, and the safeguarding of essential teachings. The degrees explore themes involving hidden chambers, lost information, and the protection of sacred symbols. Many rings incorporate purple enamel, as purple is the traditional color of cryptic masonry. Some designs feature the letters RSM or CM, denoting Royal and Select Master. The symbolism emphasizes understanding the connection between what is concealed and what is later revealed in the higher degrees. The ring signifies completion of the core degrees that bridge the teachings of the Royal Arch and the Knights Templar. It demonstrates commitment to studying allegories involving architectural secrecy, symbolic vaults, and preservation of moral instruction. Wearing the ring identifies the Mason as someone who has advanced through a critical phase of the York Rite system and has engaged with teachings concerning guardianship of knowledge and moral responsibility.